thanks so much for joining me. So you guys, this is like every single bookshelf in my house, starting with this one. This is mine. And then we have Portis's bookshelf, we have the Homeschool Bookshelf that's in our office, and then we have Behringer's new bookshelf. And then like a couple mini ones, like including that one. But this is like my main bookshelf. I've organized it many times, and this is my current setup. I'm gonna show you guys, so thanks so much for joining in. Okay, so starting at the top, I have my Eric Gorey collection. A lot of these are really small and like kind of, you know, like this size. So I thought they would kind of look nice on top. I love Eric Gorey. I have a whole video just on Edward Gorey if you guys are interested. These are like photos from our travels to different states, but yeah, okay. So now starting at the left, basically mine are in chronological order of approximate publication date. So I start with classics, and like these aren't actual, like I could spend all day just looking up the exact date. These aren't like exact. So you might see some that are like, oh, that's published before that. I didn't do it like exact, but like, you know, kind of, because I pull books from the shelf so often, I'd have to constantly be checking dates. But yeah, so it starts with Dickens. Dickens is like one of my favorite authors. And I have my husband got me this set, but I already had these. So I kind of like to just keep them because I just love Dickens so much. This is my hardback set. The cover's by Corley Bickford Smith. My husband got me this, I believe, like last Christmas. So I really love Dickens. So I started with Dickens, and I got Jane Austen. And the way I organize my bookshelf is I only keep books on my shelf that I absolutely love and I absolutely want to reread one day. And that's my philosophy on this shelf, and I like to have room to grow. Look at my room to grow. Look at this shelf. She is growing and she has room to grow, and she likes that. She likes the fact that she has extra shelves on the bottom, and we're loving that because then I can just like spend my entire life curating this shelf and stuff like that. And like, who knows, one day I might have a different shelf. Sorry if you hear noise in the background, of course, babies, dogs, cats, everything. Okay, so this is Jane Austen, Bronte. I have like duplicates of a lot of my favorite books. Like I have like 3 Jane Eyres. This is my newest one, which I love. And then here we have L.M. Montgomery, and then I have this whole set. Yeah, and then here we have more classics. You know, The Wizard of Oz. We love these Mina Limas, and I want to collect more. I have a couple on my TBR, and that's a separate cart. I showed you guys that in a video before, but I have like TBR cart videos. That's where I put on my TBR reads, and so now we have some of my little Frances Hodgson Burnett collection. Sorry guys, lots of background noise. A very vocal baby. Okay, so I have coming into like, you know, the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, stuff like that. True Grit by Charles Portis. I have 2 copies. I really love this book. Toni Morrison, Bukowski, Angela Carter, Pat Conroy, and my Margaret Atwood. And I have more Margaret Atwood that I want to read. But then I have my Donna Tartt little set. I love all of her 3 books. Anxiously Awaiting Her 4th. White Oleander, one of my favorite books. Now we're getting more into contemporary fiction. So now we're going to the second row. And these are all like contemporary fiction. All my favorite books. Favorite literary fiction. Susanna Clarke, Piranesi, Mother Crawdad Sing. And then we have Foster by Claire Keegan. Some of my Japanese novels. Convenience Store Woman, and then we have The Snow Child. And then we have, now we're getting more into middle grade, because to be honest with you, I haven't read a lot of new fiction in the past like decade that I absolutely love. I've read a lot of it that I DNF'd or didn't keep, but I'm always trying to work on building this collection because I have way more classics, and I really like to find more literary fiction like this. I love women protagonists. I love orphans, or he's not a woman, obviously. You know, not always women, but mostly women. And I like orphan stories. I like single protagonists. I like kind of isolated protagonists. I like stories about people's like quiet lives, stuff like that. Okay, so now we have Jacob Wegelius, I'm not sure how to pronounce it. I love The Murderer's Ape. It's like YA. And this is like, I would say it's adult. This is the Shady Hollow Mystery Series. Love it. And then we have my Griffin and Sabine. I have a whole video on this. I have a whole video on a lot of these sets. Yeah. But now we have my favorite middle grade author of all time, Kate DiCamillo. I have every single one of her books except this second newest one. They just have the one that came out, Orson Thimble. My favorite one is the Tale of Despero. I love these. These are like starting kind of early chapter book. Some of them are like early chapter bookish. Most of them are middle grade. Love her. Look at my little showbiz Billy Bob. Okay. Now we have middle grade. So this is like middle grade. Lots of orphan stories. Lots of orphan stories. We have Pippi. We have Pictures of Hollis Woods by Patricia Riley Giff. Another one by Patricia Riley Giff. Jubilee, The Island at the End of Everything by Karen Millwood Hargrave. Love The Snow Girl. Sophie Anderson, and then Emily Winfield Martin, 2 by her. Snow and Rose. I love fairy tale retellings. A lot of these are like fairy tale retellings. And then we have Applegate, The One and Only Ivan. Then we have my Lauren Wilkes section. And I think I have a couple of these pulled for my daughter. Then we have my Harwood Hotel set, which I love, even as an adult. I have my Sarah Pennypacker set. Packs of these go together. Actually, this is out of order. So we have Here in the Real World. And I love my animal stories. And then we have also Leave at Last. And then we have Brian Selznick. And then I have Hugo pulled for my daughter. I love Hugo. Okay. And then we have the third shelf. So this is my poetry collection. E.E. Cummings, Poem for Every Day of the Year, Whitman, Dickinson. I love this book. I have a whole video on this book, I believe. The Dictionary. I don't want to drop Lucy. No, Lucy. The Dictionary of Obscure Sorrows. Oh, it's phenomenal. Okay. And then here's my mental health shelf. Love all of these books. I have a video on my mental health books as well. Most of them, if not all of them. Love them. Okay, there's my Charlie Brown. And then I have a whole empty shelf right here that I'm going to fill with Charles Bukowski's poetry collections. This is Betty and the Muse, which I finished last month. And right now I'm reading another one, and I just purchased another one. So I have 3, and I want to collect them. I believe there's like 7 to 15. There's like a good amount, so I'm leaving a whole shelf for that. And then we have my fairy tale treasuries and collections. I actually haven't even started this yet. I put it here because it's kind of a big guy. It's too big for my book stand. But we have Hans Christian Andersen, Grimm's, another Hans Christian Andersen, Oscar Wilde. I haven't read this one yet either. And then we have a couple picture books. Here's like the Snow Child, Winkin', Blinkin', and Nod. Now we have, honestly, this might be my favorite shelf. You know, they have that saying, like, what would you take in a fire? Obviously, I would take my kids, my dogs, my cat, stuff like that. Humans first, but secondly, besides, like, important documents, third, I'd probably grab this shelf. Mostly this. Because these are replaceable, these are not. Most of them. These are, like, the books I don't have on my son's picture book shelf because these are very, very special to me. These are, like, my favorite picture books almost of all time. My daughter has some on her shelf that include the list, but they're I bought them for her, but I still love them. But anyway, this is my Charlie Brown holiday book set. This is a Teeny Tiny Woman. Oh, I love it. It's such a good folktale. And so these are like my childhood books. Literally, like, they were mine, and I don't want anyone to ruin them. This was one of my favorite childhood books of all time. I literally have dreamed about this book. The imagery in this book, see, that's my name. It was written for me. There's a page in here. I literally, it's been ingrained in my brain. It's where they're flying. It is so good. When he's flying with the umbrella, it's like a dream. It's such a cute little story about a little boy who gets a teddy bear. He doesn't want the teddy bear. He thinks. Boy, is he wrong. Yeah, it's like incorporates like dream elements along with like emotions and getting a toy, and Yeah, that's like one of my favorite books of all time. I love The Cat's Pajamas, that one too. It's really beat up. I love it. Rumpelstiltskin, Fuzzy Rabbit. Oh, I love this one. And then now we're getting into just kind of like my favorite more modern picture books. I just love these. This I actually bought for myself when I was in college. I knew you could. It's just like I wanted to inspire myself. This is one of my favorite books of all time, The Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse by Charlie Mackesy. I'm not saying that right. Mackesy, I'm not sure. The Tear Thief. These are my like emotional picture books. I did a video on a lot of these too. The Most Wonderful Thing in the World. Love it, love it, love it. This is my Corley Bickford Smith collection, but the rest of them are on my daughter's shelf. The Worm and the Bird. These are her picture books. I want to collect all of them. And so yeah, these are my, oh, I collect Isabel Arsenault. She is a author illustrator. Some of these she just illustrated, like this one. Some she wrote. Or maybe is she just an illustrator? I'm not sure. I should know. No, yeah, words and pictures. So she does some on her own, but I collect her work. She's one of my favorite modern illustrators. So yeah, you guys, this is like, I grabbed these in a heartbeat, because like, even like this one's for sure out of print. I think. Okay, so now besides all the little extra room that I'm saving for some special books, mainly I just got like, see all the blank shelves, room to grow, room to grow, room to grow. These are like, you know, our special, this is like falling apart. I need to buy a bunch of new photo albums, but my baby book, my daughter's baby book, my son's is somewhere else because I'm still using it, but these are like photo books, you know, my daughter's photo books from when she was like a toddler. This is like albums and stuff. And then this is like my only nonfiction, besides like the mental health books. This book is really, I wanted to like, I can't really call myself a minimalist, but I think it's the best minimalism book I've ever read. I read it when I was trying to get rid of things, moving to another state. And I bought this book because I didn't feel like I fit in when I moved to the Pacific Northwest. This is where you belong. It really helped me kind of go through those feelings a little bit. And then I do have TMJ disorder. I can't say this book helped a whole lot. Stuff I already knew, but I don't know. I just decided to keep it. And then this was my favorite photographer when I studied photography in college, Hunter of Ruins. This is Terrence John Laughlin. He was my favorite photographer in college, and it's kind of falling apart. It's been moved across to many states since I was like, you know, in my early 20s. So it's rough. But I just let it be. I kind of like, I think Clarence Laughlin would approve. His photos kind of look like this. He takes photos of a lot of ruins. So, this is Behringer's bookshelf. So I'm gonna show you guys. Yeah. So what we did was we got this from IKEA years ago. It's like the IKEA bookshelf. I forgot the exact name of it, but my daughter has a matching one. You'll see in the other part of the video. But basically this was hers. But she was mainly using it for like crafts and like random things, and so we kind of decluttered her room a little bit, and it was taking up too much space in her room. So I told her, can we just use it for him? And she said sure, because she has a bigger one. So this is what I'm doing right now, and it's definitely going to change. I want to show you guys a little bit of what I'm doing. I'm kind of organizing it from like youngest age to kind of like the lower shelf. I'll show you guys. So this is like the board books. Now I have another basket I'll show you guys in a minute that I pulled from this shelf, which are like really, really early board books that's in his area. But these are like the rest of our collection. So this is like the interactive books, you know, like oh, that one's kind of, Where's the Bunny with the felt. He's already kind of course, wrinkled them and stuff because he's, you know, it's a very young baby. But yeah, so this is like the interactive books. And put those first, and I also have a separate basket for him that's in his area. So these are by the author illustrator, I'm really bad at pronouncing names, but we have quite a few by her. What is it? Yeah, it's like Ingela, Ingela, INGLAP ARRHENIUS. That's the author illustrator's name. So we have like the Peekaboo by the same person. These are a little bit more complicated because you have to you know, like move the stuff, and his dexterity isn't there yet, but I think he'll really like these soon. Okay, and then we have like the Usborne, that's not my, and then we have more like, these are like traditional board books. I want to collect this set. This is like one of our newest ones. It's Your Forest by John Classen. John Classen makes like picture books. We have a bunch of these, and this is like one of his board books he just came out with. He's more interested in like lift the flaps right now, so I do pull these out, but he mainly wants to chew on them. This one actually was my daughter's, but yeah, so there you go, you guys. Eric Carle, Jen Brett, John Classen, The Little Prince, Beatrix Potter, Dr. Seuss, a lot of classics. And then that was my daughter. She chewed on it like it's pretty destroyed, but I put it, you know, for him. And then we have a second shelf, which is bigger board books. So I have like some more Usborne, interactive. He actually ripped one of these flaps, so I put it back on the shelf, and I'm not going to take it out for a while. It's a lift the flap. He's actually not, did I say lift the flap? I'm sorry. They have to be kind of thicker or he'll rip them, but so yeah, so Great Expectations. I love the children's literature adult version. Richard Scarry. That was my daughter's. I Am a Bunny. This is a newer one, The Littlest Big Family by Emily Winfield Martin. I really like her illustration. It's so pretty. So these are like a little bit more wordy. So I definitely don't think he has the attention span now. So we'll be pulling those out soon. But I'm sorry. Oh, that was loud. Okay. I just got this one too to help him learn the alphabet. I'm so happy with this. So I like A is for apple. So this one he'll probably be a little bit too rough with so far. So definitely I'm gonna be supervising him with this one. I'd like to get the number one. They have a number one, and they have a bunch of other ones like this. This one was my daughter's. It's very cool. I think he would definitely be too rough with this one too for now, but supervision is good. It doesn't come out. Okay. So she actually has a alphabet one that I want to get. It's really pretty. So does that, like, stuff like that. Okay. Very delicate. My husband actually bought this for my daughter when she was a baby. It was one of the first books that we purchased for her when she was, well, maybe when I was pregnant, but we kept it in really good condition. Okay, so now we're moving on to a little bit more like older, more like, well, not, this one's kind of a finger book I found at Vintage, but this one's like, you know, the wear spot, but it's paper, so he'll definitely rip that, so we're waiting. So let's kind of have it organized from youngest, you know. These are definitely board books, but I put these here because I want to pull them soon, because I want to maybe start a night routine where we read this every night, but we're not there yet because his schedule's kind of still all over the place. And then these are little cute board book collections. I have this one I really love, Our Very Little Library by Tabitha Page. And then this one is Baby's Little Box of Books by Jen Allen Alberg. If I'm saying that correctly. And then this is like Paddington, and then this is Peter Rabbit. And then these, for some reason, he pinches his fingers, like all these tiny ones. Like he's actually better with bigger ones. But yeah, here's just a toy from my daughter, a Grimm's Rainbow that we have. He's still a little bit rough with it, so I have it here. So this bottom left shelf, I kind of dedicated to like treasuries and future read aloud. So we have like Mother Goose and fairy tales. I just showed this one in my latest video. This author, Fujikwa, and then Richard Scarry, more Mother Goose, fairy tales, children's book treasury, Aesop's Fables, 365, Winnie the Pooh, Frog and Toad, Bramley Hedge, Beatrix Potter. This is a newer one, I believe. 365 First Words for Little Kids. I'm excited to, we have a similar one like this that I use with my daughter, and I'm really excited. I don't know, probably be doing this for like pre-K age. So cute, or maybe younger. Maybe, well, pre-K is kind of preschool pre-K, you know. I'm gonna call it play school when he's like a young toddler. I love this for vocabulary. And then another Richard Scarry ABC word book. This is like, I don't know, it's like a vintage one, but I want to get the numbers one. So these are kind of like, you know, yeah, kind of like treasuries. So I'm really excited about those. And then now we're moving on to like more like for probably age like 3, 4 and up, depending on how he is with books. But these are like the Shine Lights. This is another Richard Scarry, Cars and Trucks. But these have all paper pages, you know, all of these. So these are more, you know, it's kind of weird because like I have them at the bottom, so it's easy for him to reach. But then right now he's kind of playing in his baby area. But I was thinking like, should I reverse these? Because these would be more his eye level, but he likes to stand actually. And then these are really heavy. So I'd actually rather keep them on the bottom. So yeah, but that's why I keep books in a basket, you guys. I'll show you so that he can still have books that are appropriate for him and not be on the shelf constantly. But we haven't arranged that yet, how he's gonna navigate the shelf in this room. Okay, and then now we have like, you know, actually starting my like actual picture book collection. You know, here we have Barnett and Klassen, and then Oliver Jeffers, Kobe Yamada, who we love. I'm trying to build our collections in the future instead of just buying a lot of random books and using the library more, but like building our collections instead. So like I want to get the third one, which is like Shape the Square on this trilogy. It's like circle, triangle, and square. These will also be really good to learn shapes. They also have that new show on Apple, Shape Island, based on these books, and we've watched it. So I think these would be really awesome to build his collection with, you know, to get the third one. And then I like to collect authors, like Richard Scarry we loved. And then here's like The Day the Crayons Quit. And then these are, I want to collect these. Folktale and Fairy Tale Collection by Paul Galdone, the illustrator. We only have one. I really want to get Henny Penny, and I really want to get some other ones because this kind of plays off of these treasuries. So then when you read fairy tales, you can grab one of these and do it individual. So I want to collect these. And then these are like vintage books from my childhood. Some of them. There's a Frog and Toad. These are like books I read when I was a child. And I really loved, oh my gosh, really loved. I loved this book, Henry's Awful Mistake, about a duck who has ants, and just so fun. Okay, and then now we're like even the thinner picture books, like not the hardbacks, like the paper, well, some of them. And so this is like, a lot of these are my Bernstein Bears collection, my daughter and I, and then gonna be Behringer's collection too, and then Clifford. And then these are just like random, like Madeline and Mix Up Chameleon. Sorry, the glare. Miss Nelson is missing, that's a classic. Harry by the Sea. The Little Mouse and the Red Ripe Strawberry. Now we have Tana Hoban, who I like to use for like art and learning. There's a lot of educational books for kids. Here we have our little amount of Dr. Seuss. I actually want to get more Dr. Seuss because I've been reading how, you know, Dr. Seuss is really good for early reading. So definitely when he starts early reading, I guess like pre-K or kindergarten, we'll be getting more because I don't have as many as I thought. I have like one more, I think, Green Eggs and Ham. And then this is this kind of unique shelf I pulled because I wanted to do an A to Z collection. Now I don't have all of the letters. I definitely don't have like Z and like I think V and X, but I have like, you know, like I wanted each book to start with the, like A, the title start with the letter B, this is C, Chicken Little, and then D, E, F, G, H, I, J. So I pulled some from everywhere to not, so I won't forget, because I want to continue it, and we might continue it from the library. Like it's almost the whole alphabet. So when we start learning about the alphabet, we'll do this for like a month or two, where we'll do like one book, you know, a day or a week, yeah. And then we'll do like letter of the week and stuff like that. I thought it was really fun. I don't know. So part of me is like, should I just put these back where they go for now and just, but I did to remind me, if we need the space, I'll put them back and then get them back out. But yeah, that was my concept, like an A to Z. A, bargain for Francis, and then we'll be learning about the letter A that week, and we'll definitely, I'll point out, and then we can point out all the A's. Every time they have an A, I can get him to point at it with a little pointer or a little, you know. So that's what I got this idea from the internet. Like, I don't know, I found like random people who were doing it. I didn't come up with it myself. I can't credit someone because I saw so many different people doing it, so I don't know who started it, but it's just like, I was reading on the internet about how to teach the alphabet to toddlers, and I came up with that idea, which is more like preschool, right? Age, pre-K, but yeah. Okay. Now, I have one more little mini shelf. I didn't count it. I think I told you guys I have 4 shelves, but this one's like kind of part of this one, so I'm going to show you. So here's a little vintage shelf that's kind of near the other shelf in the living room, and this is a little shelf we actually got at a thrift store. And I never can find the perfect combination of books to put here. I tried DVDs, tried books, so I just decided to start with the Golden Book collection. This is just a My French Word book. It's like a vintage book. It was actually a gift from my daughter. There's our little reading Miffy. And so this is our Golden Book collection. So a lot of these I had from when I was a child. And then I'm like, you know, building his collection. I have actually a whole video on this channel if you guys are interested. It's like my Golden Book collection. So some of these are new and you won't see them, but it's my older ones, a lot of them. So yeah, so I'm just building the collection. That's an old one. And I just love little Golden Books, you guys. Oh, I love this one. This was one of my favorite ones. This one was mine when I was a kid. Oh my gosh, I love it. It's like so cute. Oh, see my name. And I want to say like I didn't tear it. No, I'm joking. Somebody tore it. I don't know. My brother used to read my books too. I don't know. Maybe I did tear it, but I love it. I'd like to maybe get a new copy because this one's like really worn. But that's what I love about it. I'll never get rid of this one, Mr. Dog. I'll just put that one right there for a minute. But yeah, so this is our little Golden Book collection. And that's like pretty much Behringer's books. Okay guys, now I want to show you his little basket that I pulled for him. But this is like his new toy. He just got this. You like it? You like it? So, this is his little play area. He has these little bars because we have 2 dogs and a cat and they want to jump all over him. So we have this little thing to protect him. So yeah, so this is his little book bin that I pulled. So these are the only other books that are not on the shelf that he owns. This is like a soft book, Goodnight Moon. Here's another little Melissa and Doug soft book. Because at first he was really, really rough with books and he could only do soft books, but now he's kind of moving on. And he really likes these Indestructibles. Twinkle Twinkle, the Itsy Bitsy Spider, and this little piggy. And then we have the traditional board books that I pulled. Now these are like our favorite ones for him right now because they're thicker and he doesn't pinch his fingers on them. But this is like My First 100 Words. And this one is DK Touch and Feel Trucks. And then this is Peak and Flap Ocean. I actually randomly found this one at Marshall's and it's really nice because it's super thick. It's like really thick. And he likes moving these and he can't break them like he can some of the other more delicate ones. So yeah, it's a little busy. I kind of prefer a little bit more simple, you know, like stuff like this because we're learning, you know, about objects and he doesn't really know what any of this stuff is and it's like too much information. Sorry. He's like yanking my arm. Life of the baby, right? It's too much information for me to read, so I'll just be like, you know, fish. You know, I don't even try to read it. I just let him interact with it. And then here we have 2, sorry, I gotta move my hand. And then we have Don't Tickle the Tiger, which is Usborne. Don't Tickle the Dinosaur. And these actually have sound. And he doesn't really care about the sound, to be honest, but he likes to turn the pages. So those are the ones I pulled, and then I do sometimes rotate them. Not these, because these are just like very young, but some of, like this one, sometimes I'll put back on the shelf and then grab another one. Okay, so this is Portis's shelf. I'm holding Behringer, so you hear him. So this is her IKEA shelf that matches the one I just showed you guys that Behringer has. Her room is packed right now. There's her book cart, and then her, see the dresser right here on the right. So she doesn't have much space in here. We really want to reorganize her space when we get our next house. But for now, this is what we have going on. Okay, so Portis, so do you have a way that you organize it? Like a method?
Yeah, it starts over here, and this is the oldest reads. And then it goes...
I'm sorry, the lighting is really bad right there. So it's Harry Potter, like
the Wild Robot, like stuff.
The Wild Robot.
Yeah,
okay.
from a couple years ago. And then it goes like this.
These are all mostly middle grade and YA.
Yeah, and then it.
So it goes like this, meaning those are the oldest books you read.
Yeah, it's
like
this is the oldest, and then it goes like this, and then it goes like this.
So they're chronological, starting at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
She has her own way. Okay. Okay, so the bottom row you said is chronological from oldest, starting with the Harry Potter. Like you read those first, all the way, and then you're going like backwards.
Yeah, okay. That way and then that way.
Okay, here's Keeper of the Lost Cities. Let's talk about some of these books. Tristan Strong, lots of fantasy. Would you say most of the shelf is what? Fantasy, mystery, the Unwanted series, Artemis Fowl. Let's see. Dragon's Milk. And you don't keep every book you read like your father.
Not everyone, but I keep most of them.
And you keep, because my method is I keep only books I want to reread and that I absolutely adore. Like her dad, like I mentioned, keeps pretty much every book he's ever touched. And I'm just not like that because I like to keep my shelf very minimalist and I like to leave room for stuff. Okay, so the second row you said
it starts over there, like when it goes forward.
In the order that you read them?
Yeah.
Okay. And this is Christopher Paolini. And then here we have Rick Riordan.
Rick Riordan. This whole block is Rick Riordan.
Okay.
He has a lot of books.
And then we have the Moomin series.
Yeah.
Okay, so then now we have the third shelf. And this is a lot of graphic novel, like Lightfall. And then here's a Spider-Rick Chronicles.
I left a space for the third Witchlings book.
Yes, you want to read that one. Okay, here's the One series. And then so these gaps, this is because this is going to be what you read next that you keep.
And then over here is my Puffin collection.
Let me get over there. Sorry. Having to readjust. Okay, so the Puffin, which are a lot of classics. And then you have the Roald Dahl. Then that's not a book. You have the Scrabble, but it looks like a book. And then,
these are my nice.
So if you hear that noise, you guys, it's Behringer teething. He's sucking on things. So okay, so these are.
This is the nice
You pulled. What did you
books.
take off?
What
is that?
The Helen Keller book. I don't think I'm gonna keep it.
We just cleaned another bookshelf, and so you changed your mind.
Yeah.
Show them what it is. Okay, it's a biography, picture book biography. So we really love this book. Actually, I don't know. It's so pretty. If you're not gonna keep it, I'm gonna keep it on the homeschool shelf. So okay, we have another shelf. I'm gonna show you guys. Okay, so you said these are like your beautiful kind of story collections, or and we have some random
stuff.
Frida Kahlo, and then we have the Christmas Occasion, Night Before Christmas. We have 2 copies of that. Okay, Aesop's Fables. Okay, so then now we have the top shelf, which on the right is all those black books are her old sketchbooks. I like to buy those black hardbacks, and she keeps them. And then we have some picture books and nonfiction.
Yeah, these are all
Where's Waldo?
It's organized by category. This is sort of interactive, I Spy, Where's Waldo. This is my my National Geographic magazine collection. This is the
random nonfiction.
Yeah, this is random stuff. This is animal stuff, science. This is books.
Your beautiful picture books. The fox and the star, really beautiful picture book. That one's upside down. Wishy-washy.
My little brother just pulled my hair really hard.
Yes. He's pulling our hair. This video is very unorganized.
It's like chaos.
There's your Jane Eyre. This is what it's like filming with a baby. Okay, so then we have, more nonfiction. More nonfiction. So this is mostly
Human
nonfiction
body,
at the top.
Elements, like
Science.
kind of space,
Yeah.
kind of drawing, kind of like games, like Minecraft stuff, like the Moby series. Then we have more like picture books, like they're like kind of nostalgic.
Classic. Eloise.
Yeah, like Pool, the Three
Little
Bedtime
Prince.
Classics and stuff.
And
And
then
then here is my favorite shelf.
Okay, I had to like put him on the bed with her because I just couldn't film the rest with him. So then she has this last shelf. Of a lot of these beautiful books, mythology, more mythology. Okay, you guys, so that's her shelf, and I'm gonna ask her a couple questions about her favorites. Okay, so if you had to pick like your top 5 favorites on this whole shelf really quick, they could be a series or picture book, what would you gravitate to?
Witchlings, maybe, probably Aragon, let's see, maybe Lightfall, definitely, how many is that?
3.
Okay, Moomins, that'd be 4, and, let's see, the last one's probably gonna be hard, but, I'm kind of caught between Tristan Strong and I Am a Cat by Soseki Natsume.
Okay.
I think I'd choose I Am a Cat.
What about nostalgia? If you went back in time, you already did the 5. Those are all newer, but if you went back in time with one of the ones from your childhood, which one would you gravitate to show them? Or what are your favorite ones from the shelf?
I really like Eloise.
So let's just show Eloise and then we'll wrap that up. So Eloise is one of your favorite books from childhood. Why is that?
She's just a mess.
She thinks she's funny, and that's a wrap on her shelf. Okay, so this room has funky light, so I apologize. There's like we use like orangey warm bulbs in every room, so this room's like darker because of lighting, so I apologize. But yeah, so this is the homeschool-ish bookshelf of the homeschool items that we're not ready to part with, but we're not currently using because that's all on her homeschool cart. Yeah, it's kind of like a giant bookshelf. We actually got these like on Craigslist. There's another fan. My house is just so hot. We have fans everywhere. Okay, so you guys, so there's a little bit of organization to this. So what I have going on is, so the top shelf is like on the left is like some of our Handwriting Without Tears collection. I don't keep a lot of consumables from my daughter's homeschool years, but I like to keep my favorite stuff so we can go back and look at it. And I really love the Handwriting Without Tears stuff. I really like this vocabulary notebook, The Learning Ladder, her channel. She created it, and she has some really cool things, so I really liked it, so I kept it. And then this was like a cursive one. And that's kind of like, and my daughter has some stuff in her room, but this is like mainly this consumable stuff we kept mainly. And then I have this section on, this is like grammar and vocabulary, some of my favorite grammar and vocabulary books, and reading. Oh yeah, this is also Growing with Grammar. But leave a comment if you guys want me to do a video of one of these sections, like subjects, because I haven't done those in a while, like my favorite vocabulary books that we kept. Because if I don't like something left over from a year, we just sell it back to Half Price Books or donate it. So pretty much everything on the shelf is stuff I really love. Leave me a comment if you want me to do a specific video on like, the vocabulary and language arts books, or the art books, or like the science and history when I get to those. Leave a comment if you're interested in that. So I've done those years ago, but I haven't done any in a while. Okay. So this is like the vocabulary and like language arts, and then like your Saxon math, and then this is like the art section, stops like here. These are all the art books, art curriculum books we've used along the years. Stuff like that. Okay, and then so now we're at kind of random nonfiction here. Here we have like some picture book biographies, Toni Morrison and Helen Keller, a book on Mardi Gras because we're from Louisiana. Well, I am and my husband is. Here we have like a little collection of French books that we got when my daughter was a baby. They really don't fit in any category. Here we have poetry, like Shel Silverstein. Yeah. Okay. And then we have our holiday books. So this whole section right here is holiday books. So this is like random things like, you know, like Valentine's Day and Easter, not many. And then all of this is Halloween. Here's like one of my favorite, The Skull by John Clason. And then here's Christmas. And so we really have no more room here. And so, yeah, so that's Christmas. And then now we have the second shelf, which these are like mostly standalone novels and some collections. So I did them loosely by age. So these are like early chapter books. Like this is a Katie Camillo, Mercy Watson. And then I have like E.B. White. And then Skunk and Badger. And then I have Sophie Mouse. These are all like early chapter books. And then we have like kind of like, you know, kindergarten through third grade type read alouds, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. And then kind of starting like here, we just get into like more standalone middle grade and like older novels. You know, like Tom Sawyer and Huckleberry Finn. My daughter hasn't even read these yet. She hasn't read this. These she hasn't read. She hasn't read. I read these like in college, but they aren't like my favorite books. Oh, actually, I have another copy on my shelf of The Awakening. So these are duplicates mainly. Like I have Another Hard Times by Dickens. So these are kind of like duplicates that I thought my daughter and my son could read when they're older. Okay, and then now we have the nonfiction little sets that we kept. This is Horrible Histories, Horrible Science, and Science Comics. And then now we have the second to last shelf, which these are mostly like the series. This is Harry Potter. We have 2 sets of Harry Potter. My husband got this collectible set he found, and then my daughter has another like paperback set, so we'll probably give this to my son or vice versa for one of them. And then this is A Mysterious Benedict Society, Incorrigible Children of Ashton Place. These are books that my daughter read, but she didn't absolutely like adore to keep on her own shelf. And so she said he might like them. So we kept these for him to try, these series. But I haven't read any of these. These are all ones that I love this series. Yeah. And so the bottom, sorry if it's kind of dark, you guys. The bottom is like the bigger, taller books. These are like the traditional homeschool books that I use for like, you know, my homeschool curriculum and stuff like that. So these are kind of by subject. We have like dinosaurs, science, history, history down here, historium, the presidents, the history museum, When on Earth by DK, a lot of DK, A Child Through Time. So yeah, so leave me a comment if you want to see any of these, the ones we kept for this shelf. Okay, and then so this is pretty much everything. Like, these are all the homeschool books other than what we have pulled for her 7th grade. Here we have geography now. We have maps, national parks, national monuments, cities book. Then we have a Planet Earth, the 50 states, the Big Earth book, Super Earth, DK. Yeah. And then we have, now we're getting into more science. Seeing Science, I love this book. We used this before as curriculum. That's Life, Life Cycles, AstroCat. Let's see, let me move this fan. We have the Animals book by DK. It's really pretty. Let's see, Extinct, Life-Size Mammals. So these are all going to be books that my son will hopefully enjoy. Then we have like specialty science, like we have bugs, like entomology, whatever, bees, reptiles, birds, biology, trees. And then we have human body, see inside your body. And then we have a mystery book right there. And then 1 Million Things by DK. It's hard to see right there. Yeah. So basically everything that's on the shelf, like I said, is left over from literally pre-K through 6th grade homeschool. And if it's not on the shelf, it means that we donated it, sold it, or it's on my daughter's shelf, or that's it. So this is our main shelf that we use, and it's pretty much full. So at some point, we're gonna have to like either get rid of some of these, or get another shelf. Because right now we're working with her shelf, this shelf, my shelf, and then my son's shelf that you guys saw. So we have 4 main shelves, and that's it. So I can probably get rid of some things, maybe not. I actually just got rid of some more things, and I might show that also at the end of the video. But yeah, so that's the homeschool shelf. Okay, so I'm ending the video with this shelf. I did a whole video on these books. These are for independent reads for 7th grade. But so it's kind of like a mini bookshelf, but I'm just included to show you. This is where I keep her independent reads, so she can kind of pick them out as she, you know, so she can visually see them, you know, displayed. So thanks so much for watching. I'd love for you to like, subscribe if you haven't already, and comment if you'd like to tell me your favorite book that I showed, or one of your favorite books from your bookshelf, or any ideas for me to film for book collections. Thanks so much. Take care. Bye.